Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 4. What is CBG? Hmm, What is CBG? All right, so we all know what THC is. That's the good stuff. We all know what CBD is. That's the legal stuff. And you always see on the label when you get it from the dispensary, you have all these cannabinoids. You see that list? So you have THC, you have THCA, you have THCV. What's the difference in those? Well, I'm not going to get into the V part, but the A part is that THCA means acid, and then when it's heated, that acid turns into the cannabinoid THC. That's the good stuff we want. You do lose some, so if you take THCA, multiply it by 0.877, you get the amount of THC that you're actually getting. So then you look down here, and you got CBD, you got CBDA, you got CBDV. Again, same difference. But what's these other ones? CBN, CBG, and CBC. Now, most of the time, your CBN and your CBC are 0, like 90% of the time. But usually, there's just a little bit of that CBG in there. Some strains have up to 2% of it. Yeah, 2% of it. So I started realizing that I like strains that are higher in CBG. So I started looking to at least have 1% CBG if I buy it. Hey, a little bit. Thanks for coming. So CBG is, and I can never say these words right because I'm not a scientist. This is why I didn't become a doctor. Okay. Cannabigerol, CBG, gerol. It's a non-psychotropic, which means, yes, it has, psychoactive means it interacts with your brain. Psychotropic means it has an inebriating effect on your brain. So it's not psychotropic. It is psychoactive because it helps with anxiety and depression and all that good stuff like CBD does. So they call CBG the mother of all cannabinoids because every single other cannabinoid comes from CBG. It starts as CBG and then it forms into CBD, CBN, THC. There's a gene that converts it in the growing process. All right, so most plants have a minuscule amount of CBG. And I'll be very honest with you, I tried looking up research papers and all this stuff. There aren't any. There aren't. They're just figuring out that CBG is the mother. Excuse me. Growers and people who have been using these products for years know already, figured it out. So a lot of growers have tried to crossbreed plants to make them higher in CBG. Now, the farm that I get my hemp and CBD products from, I buy it's the white strain of hemp, though. We've all had it in marijuana, it's in a lot of different strains. But the white, they've crossbred it and whatever they do with their seeds, I don't know. I'm not a grower. But they've made it very high in CBG. So I get CBG kief and add it into my flower. And therefore I get more effects from the CBG. Now, what are the effects of CBG? Has anybody ever noticed? Has anybody ever tried CBD? Let me know in the comments. CBG treats a list of things. The reason I believe that I like it the most is because it's a mood regulator. It can actually reduce spikes in anxiety. It keeps you more level-headed. And it also, that's what I like for the mental part. But for the other part, it's number one thing is inflammation, body-wise. That can treat so many things, and it's way better with the inflammation than just like regular CBD, because it makes THC and CBD bind to your receptors more. So say you're not really getting all the effect from the CBG, but it makes the CBD and THC go to the right receptors more. So it's like, hey, we need to be over here. Come on. So they think that by having a high concentrated CBG, you're actually making every other cannabinoid work better. You got it? Like, this stuff still blows my mind. This is why I teach you guys, because I love the science behind it. I will never learn all the science. I will be honest with you, fellows and gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. I will never learn all there is to learn about THC. But I'm trying, and it still blows my mind every time I'm reading stuff. So, okay, so other things that CBG is good for. They believe that it lessens the effects of cancer when a patient actually already has cancer. But they think that it also inhibits cancer cell growth more than CBD does, and again, makes the CBD and THC stick more. I mentioned in my episode about the endocannabinoid system that, what is it called? Homeostasis that's regulated by our endocannabinoid system. So when your receptors are filled properly with the cannabinoids that you need, your body will function better. Okay? So it can kill cancer cells more. It also is a antibacterial. You can actually, if you get CBG like salve, it's good for things like psoriasis, just for example. It'll kill germs on the skin more. So skin cancer patients can benefit from CBG, definitely. It has to be really high concentrated. Now, it also helps with your body's response to pain. So it's not necessarily that it's a pain reliever. It makes your body respond in a different way and pull things that it needs from other places. Do you guys get it? It's hard to explain. It also helps with your sleep cycles. If you have insomnia, or one night you're tossing and turning, and then it causes you to crash the next night and stuff like that, or even if you work a split shift, they said, like split shift workers, and you go about your regular day business on your day off, and then you have to go back to the night shift and stuff like that. It actually helps with that. I mean, CBG is freaking amazing. It also helps. Okay, I'm trying to say this without making THC sound bad, because it's not bad. Okay. It helps reduce THC's memory loss effect. So if you're using both, it actually will counteract the memory loss part. Which I was like, really? Holy shit. I do feel a lot more clear-headed when I use the CBG. I don't always remember to put it in, guys, just so you know. Or if I'm tired, I don't really want to get too medicated. It does get me a little bit more euphoric. So if I'm not really into being high at the moment, I won't add it. So yeah, it helps counteract the memory loss, the short-term memory loss thing with chronic THC use, chronic. Speaking of which, here. Oh, yeah. Smoking some frozen grapes. Blackberry cushion something. Face off, OG. That's cheers. Well, I'm taking a quick smoke break. Are you guys on Cannabinoids? I know a little bit is. Everybody else, you on Cannabinoids? Well, I don't know why not. Because I've met the greatest bunch of people there, and I've learned a lot also. A lot of growers. So you can see weed porn all day long. Funny TikTok videos. We make them on TikTok, but we can't post them on TikTok. So we'll make funny TikTok videos of smoking. It's so much fun. You guys are gonna come over. Cannabis, it's an app. Download it. It's like the FB for weed. Trust me. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. So, CBG, cannabigerol, is non-psychotropic. It does not, supposedly. But this is where I'm going to go with this. It is the mother of all cannabinoids, which means it forms into THC, CBD, CBN, CBD, CBD, all of them. It helps with inflammation, which is good for things like Crohn's and IBS, because you have a main CB2 receptor in your colon, right where your colon begins. So I think it's like GPR55 or something like that. Don't quote me. It's a 55, but I forget. It's GR or GPR55 receptor. It goes right to there. Helps with inflammation. It is a mood booster. It is a mood regulator. It helps with spikes in anxiety and depression. Oh, I forgot one thing. It helps with hunger, but doesn't make you get the munchies. Oh, what'd you say? Yes. If you're, chronically ill of some kind and, the medicine makes you not want to eat and such like that, it'll make you eat, but not overeat. So that is a benefit. I missed a bunch of things. I'm sorry. It helps with glaucoma because it reduces the pressure in the eye. Crazy, right? Huntington's and MS helps with all of those. It has neuroprotective properties that shield brain cell damage. So kind of like I said, with the memory loss thing, THC does cause short-term memory loss if you use it a lot. You're a heavy consumer. But CBG protects the brain cells from being damaged. Therefore, it doesn't let you get the memory loss. It actually promotes neurogenesis, which means your brain cells are rejuvenating more rapidly when using CBG. And I think that's true. I really do think that's true. Because since I started buying the keef and stuff, I do feel different. More mentally clear, I guess you could say. Anyway, it has antibacterial properties. It's good for on top of the skin, like psoriasis. It reduces, like I said that, it reduces the spikes in anxiety and depression, so it regulates you. It makes CBD and THC, I can't talk no more, THC bind more to your receptor. So if you have CBG with the CBD, it'll make the CBD and the THC work more. And it makes your body respond to pain less in a different way, so that you're in less pain. Inhibits cancer cell growth, cuts that short, and helps with sleep cycles. I mean, how could you not want to take that? So I wanted to get into, just real quick, how CBD is psychoactive, but not psychotropic. And this, just to saying a CBD in general, that's CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC. Okay. All right. CBD is psychoactive, but it is not psychotropic. Psychotropic means it makes you inebriated, makes you high. Psychoactive means it interacts with your brain's chemistry, which it does. It pretty much number one reason it's prescribed is anxiety and depression. So, where's my literature? All right. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the different descriptions of CBD. I can't talk anymore, guys. This frozen grapes is pretty good. Let me hit some more. All right. So we all see CBD products, full spectrum, broad spectrum. They have like, this is a distillate, this is an isolate. What the hell does all this stuff mean? Okay, here it is. Full spectrum, there is no legal definition, but it is the best representation of that plant's compounds, being terpenes, cannabinoids, and all the other compounds that it has in it. Now, the difference between broad spectrum and full spectrum is that broad has 0 THC. None at all. They take it out. Full will have that 0.3% that you're allowed. And this is, I can't say this. So you see full spectrum marijuana as well. I'll explain that later. Now, distillate is all the compounds are removed, and you're left mainly with CBD with a little bit of terps and a little bit of cannabinoids. But it's mostly just CBD, like what you're looking for. Isolate is 99.99% CBD, and everything else is stripped from it. There's no flavor, there's no color, it's just CBD. So when they do research with CBD, they are using isolate. You guys know where to get isolate? I don't know where to get CBD isolate that's 99% pure. No clue. So when they do research in the lab on animals and or humans, they are using 5 milligrams per kilogram of the person. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you will take 500 milligrams. I'm sorry, it's kilograms. I have to 100 kilograms, and you would take 500 milligrams. Yet, most CBD companies only suggest that you take 25 to at most 100 milligrams of CBD a day. I don't think you're going to get the same effects as in the lab, right? Because you're only taking 1/5 of the amount that they're using for these experiments. And theirs is 99% pure. So the theory is that because CBD is the one that we get, not the isolate, but everything else, has other stuff in it that maybe you can get the full spectrum and the entourage effect with all the cannabinoids and whatever. So you may be able to take less because the other elements are doing their work too. But I just wanted to make a point that I really think that a minimum of like 200 milligrams would be needed a day to even compare to the research. So sometimes studies actually think it's just a placebo effect. Like you think you're taking the THC, the CBD, you are taking some CBD, but it's almost 25 milligrams, which is like nothing. So they kind of think that it might be placebo effect in the anxiety, treatment. So they're kind of thinking like they think they're taking something, so they calm down. I say, how about we just go for 200 milligrams and make it do its job? That's what I say. So, yeah. So the isolate is always, at least they do like procedure meds, it's 10 to 20 milligrams per kilogram. Like what? If you're 100 kilograms, you take 2,000 milligrams. Like, we have to take higher doses, people. Get the CBD in your life. That's what I took from this whole thing. You can't compare the research because you're not taking as much as you're supposed to. If you smoke, say you're smoking CBD flower, it's usually like 15% by weight. So if you do a gram, it's 15%, which is, I don't know how many milligrams that goes to, but that's not enough. You have to do that like 6 times a day, which is fine with me. I'll do that. I don't mind at all. But the whole point is, in order to get the full effects from CBD and CBG, you have to have higher doses than what they necessarily suggest, because the FDA really doesn't know what the hell we're talking about. Got me? All right. I'm going to let you guys go here, and we are going to talk about, I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. I'll announce it. But I just do want to say one more thing. If you are buying CBD, if it does not have a lab result, don't buy it. Most of the packages have a little QR code you can scan and it'll show you the lab results. Make sure it's actually on a website and not just a Google Doc that somebody fucking made. Okay? It should have the lab that did it, what date it was done, and have all the information for you. If it doesn't have lab results, it's not a high quality CBD, and don't buy it because it's going to be shit. You're just wasting your money. All right? CBD does not have to be expensive to work. I pay like, I don't even know how much I pay at the moment. But some of the stuff, like say if you buy some shake, you could get it for like $40 for 2 ounces or something like that. It's not that expensive. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. I'm so glad you tuned in. I appreciate all of you. Like and subscribe if you're seeing this. And I will be doing a strain review this week. Also, don't forget, my birthday sale is going on now. 20% off all hoodies and t-shirts. Be sure to check that out. We go to c420.com. It's only until next Monday. And there will definitely be some things happening this weekend for my birthday. So you'll be seeing stuff. Maybe I'll go live. All right, guys. Have a great night. Stay lifted. Peace out, y'all.